Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today to talk about creating safer, more sustainable field service operations. If you're new to Jotform, welcome. Jotform offers a suite of no-code solutions designed to help organizations collect, share, and manage data. It all starts with our incredibly powerful drag and drop form builder. Today is all about improving field services management, and we're excited to share some best practices to help you enhance safety and sustainability for the people, processes, and materials you manage. I'm grateful to have two of my colleagues joining us today. Morgan, our product education manager, will be monitoring the chat, and Kat, our customer success manager, will show you how to put these ideas into practice with a quick platform demo. One final note, this webinar is being recorded and it will be posted to our YouTube channel for future reference. So let's get started. Here's a quick overview of what we'll be discussing today. First, we'll take a look at projections and challenges facing the field services management industry. Next, we'll share some strategies for helping you protect drivers and deliveries. Then we'll look at ways to improve your inventory management. We'll also review ways to help you improve your organization's sustainability efforts. Then we'll have a quick demo to give these concepts a little more context. After our demo, we'll highlight resources to help you go deeper into these topics. And finally, we'll wrap up with a little Q&A, so please stay tuned for questions. Let's dive right in. For field service managers and workers, success can be determined by how well you're able to manage your data and your time. Having access to data and being able to share critical information quickly can make a world of difference, whether you're adapting to supply chain issues, trying to forecast inventory, or just focused on delivering outstanding service. Manual and paper-based processes make it harder to compete, especially as costs rise and organizations try to do more with less. Relying on the old ways of doing business can result in costly customer churn, mistakes, and even injured workers. According to Gartner, poor data quality costs businesses $12.9 million annually and leads to faulty decision-making. To help your organization participate in the tremendous growth predicted for the field services management industry, let's discuss safety and sustainability best practices for long-term success and growth. A core capability of effective field services management is driver safety and professional, punctual service. Your staff needs to be able to get where they need to go in a safe and timely manner. They also need solutions that keep them connected when they're out in the field. If your organization still relies on paper forms or processes, it's worth considering the value of making a holistic shift to digitalization. Digitizing paper forms and processes creates an immediate positive impact by eliminating the costs of paper, printing, storage, recycling, and shredding. Online forms make it easy for drivers to stay connected wherever their work takes them. It also makes securing signatures a snap. Recent advances in no-code technology have empowered organizations and their employees to create custom solutions that replace legacy systems without straining their IT resources. Perhaps the most obvious use of digitalization is the adoption of apps and mobile forms. Consider using mobile forms for tracking your driver hours and shipments in transit. Mobile forms are also handy for performing vehicle inspections and reporting and maintaining records on vehicle maintenance. Collecting information digitally makes it immediately available to you, your staff, and the systems you use to run your business. Online, mobile-friendly forms enable real-time updates right in the palm of your hand. Many organizations are also automating inventory management with digital solutions. In addition to replacing paper forms with online forms and checklists, many have automated workflows and their reporting to minimize manual accounting and administrative tasks. Look for solutions that let you easily collect information, migrate it from one system to another, and build workflows based on that data. Workflows enable deeper automation, including notification prompting action when the inventory runs low or maintenance is required. Digital solutions can also serve as a system of record for compliance needs. QR codes are frequently used to support inventory management as well. QR codes can be posted in warehouses to link to replacement or restocking forms or prompt someone to report a problem. You can also use QR codes to link to apps that host internal team resources, reports, and more. To manage inventory in remote locations, many are turning to mobile solutions that allow offline data collections on handheld devices. Having the ability to conduct surveys and inspections, capture images and signatures, and note the necessary information in Wi-Fi dead zones is critical for optimizing the efficiency of workers in the field. Let's talk a little bit about sustainability. Improving your sustainability practice with digitalization does more than save trees. It empowers you to enhance your brand, take advantage of tax breaks, optimize resources, and minimize waste. It can also help you attract employees and customers, as 68% of people are more likely to seek employment with environmentally responsible organizations. Digital documentation of routine inspections helps you visualize patterns, like when equipment maintenance is due and how often vehicles break down. This can minimize repair costs and optimize the lifetime value of your inventory. Many field service management systems include form analytics features, which you can use to compare supplier sustainability efforts, optimize your delivery routes, and measure overall improvement. Ultimately, all of this data can feed reports to communicate with your customers and your investors about how your organization is working toward a more sustainable future. All right, let's shift gears now because, as you know, talking about digitalization isn't going to get the job done. That said, you may be surprised at how easy the transition can be. At this time, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Kat, who is going to actually show you how you can put these ideas into practice with Jotform Enterprise. Take it away, Kat.
Great. Thank you so much, Lainey. Hi, everybody. As aforementioned, I'm Kat, and I'm a customer success manager with the Jotform Enterprise team. I'm excited to be here to show you a couple different views today. We're going to primarily be within our demo enterprise environment. So if you're already using Jotform Enterprise, or if you're a Jotform standard user, you might recognize this page that we're showing here. So as you can see, I've already logged into our demo server, and the default screen upon login, which if you haven't had a chance to enjoy Jotform yet, is the My Forms dashboard as we're seeing here. Please note that as I work through the server today and as I show you all of our different goodies, I am logged in as a server admin on the demo server, and I'm also a team admin within the team we'll be working within today. All right, so the biggest kind of difference between the My Forms dashboard that we're seeing here and the team, the delivery drivers team that we're going to be working in today, is that any asset, any form, any app, anything that we create within this team and their corresponding data is owned by the team as an entity. It's not individually owned as forms and other assets that are created here within the My Forms dashboard are. So having these other assets, you can see that we have several created in here, and their data contained within a team can really help with organization, but even security as well. So for example, if someone leaves your organization, any form or asset created by that user will be contained within that team. Of course, if you need any more information about teams, please take a look on our YouTube page or of course on our website. So I'm going to just dive right into this team workspace. To get there, I'm going to click team workspace, but I do already have it queued up here. So this is the team workspace for the delivery drivers team. You can see here that we have several forms created within this team, even a couple of approval logs and a signed document. Same kind of thing here. If you click into create, you can create the asset there. Now, the form that we're going to be focusing on today is the driver hours log form there. So to get into this form, I'm going to click edit form. I do already have it queued up as well. So let's just click into the form builder. I'm going to scroll up a little bit here. So you can see that we have add form element. And of course, using our drag and drop functionality, we can drag and drop any field that we want, delete any field, edit this to look the way that we want. We can add in fields to, say, select delivery times, like we've done with our appointment field here, and signature panels. If we want to, we can add as many as we want in there, that we can easily toggle on and off the Jotform sign to enjoy the benefits of Jotform sign, as we'll see here, including audit trails, consent for signature, and more. I'm just going to toggle this off for now. I'll head back into build, and we're just going to remove this one field as we won't need it. All right. As you can also see within here, we have a couple of different widgets to collect other information. So this take photo widget that we've added for example here, it enables your respondents to take and upload photos from their devices to the form in an instant. For this one, because it is a driver hours form, we do have it to upload license, but they could also upload it if they're doing inspections, visual inspections of the vehicle as well. Depending on what other information we want to capture, we could choose to add another widget like our checklist widget. You can see if I click into widgets under form elements, we have a multitude of different widgets there. But if there are certain inspection tasks or other actions that need to be checked off prior to submission, or if you wanted, you could add an inventory widget where if we choose, we could input existing inventory and have our driver input the inventory that they're delivering, moving, or transporting there. And if we'd like, if we click into the Publish tab here, whilst we're still in the form builder and click into pre-fill, we go into manual pre-fill, but you can see that we have a bunch of different pre-fills that you can do there. You can create a pre-fill. I've done some manual pre-fills so that the driver can continually access their own unique link each time they submit the form, where they can pre-fill their name, phone number, email, whatever we'd like to do for eligible pre-fill fields on a per respondent, or in this case, a per driver basis. So they click into Steve Rogers pre-fill field here. You can see that I have Steve's information already filled out. He just has to worry about filling out the rest. If we choose, we can also add in conditional logic or to show or hide particular fields for particular drivers based on their pre-fill URLs, their form field input, and more. And the cool part about all of this, using the Jotform mobile enterprise app, we can set up your forms for offline access, so they're easily filled in the field. So as you'll see here on our website's feature page, I'll just play through this video without sound. You can, with the offline forms feature, you can set which of your forms you'd like to make available offline, collect submissions whilst offline, and you can feel secure knowing that the data will then be synced once you're back online. So coupled with kiosk mode, which we do describe a little bit more here, and which we went through a lot more in our last webinar, which is also available on our YouTube, offline forms really make collecting that submission data within the field especially really streamlined and simple. All right, let's pause that and let's click back into our team workspace here. So if I click back into my teams and let's check out how we can automate the workflow post submission. I've already created a workflow, approval workflow for this form, but keep in mind that we can just click into edit. I do have it already queued up here, but it's the same thing as we saw within our form builder. Using our drag and drop functionality, we can drag and drop as many approval tasks as we want into the approval workflow. We also have other elements and branching elements that we can do here that mimic our conditional logic. Now for this approval workflow here, I've got another conditional branch just hanging out there. I have it set to just go to the one supervisor for approve and sign, but you can do multiple approvers if you want. We do have that now within the exact same task, or if we want to only have one person approve and sign and somebody else approve, we can have it branch that way if we choose to do so. Now, within the approval tasks, whether it's approval or approve and sign, team approval as well, which is new, we can go in and they all have these different properties that we can go in and customize. We can customize the outcomes if it's not an approval or denial. If you have a different word for that within your organization. We can also go in and we can customize the signer request email here. If we click into advanced tab here, we can toggle on or off features that like approval task escalation, expiry, reminders, and even more. So we do have those options available. But let's say I'm just going to delete this. We just want this exactly as it appears on the screen now. The form is sent for approval and signature to the supervisor first. If denied, an email that we can fully customize is sent to the respondent asking them to edit their hours. Now, within this email, if we go in here, we do have full access to customize the body of the email, even down to the source code if we wish, but we can add in the approve and sign comment. So if the supervisor does deny it in comments and indicates where that edit needs to happen, the respondent will receive that instruction. However, if the supervisor approves, I've added a signed document to the flow that the responder or driver in this case is being requested to fill out to attest to the legitimacy of their hours once again. And then depending on the response to the document, whether it's signed, canceled, or declined, as we can see here, customized emails are sent back to the respondent and the flow terminates here. As previously mentioned, though, we can make the approvals as simple or as complex as you'd like. All you have to do is drag and drop. All right, so we've streamlined our process with our approval flow. We've turned on offline form access and we've set our pre-fills for a really easy end user experience. So now you want to be able to monitor the submission data, including where in this approval flow we are. So from here, we can click into a couple of different options. We can click into the inbox and tables, which we're going to briefly look at next here. So let's go into the inbox. You can see that we have a couple of test submissions that we've submitted here. This inbox is where our approvers will be sent to sign and complete their tasks, but also where we can view the data in an inbox format. Keep in mind, because this isn't a team, depending on the permissions set for the team members, they'll be able to see and collaborate with this data too. We can simply click into each submission. We'll get a real-time overview of the approval process within each. You can see here that we have the different steps. With Mr. Wayne, we have different steps here down to the hour and the time and date. We can edit, download, and archive the data if we choose to do so. If we click into tables, which again, we would just click here to get into tables, but I do have queued up. Tables is my personal favorite to view, analyze, and to optimize the data. Presents us with a couple of options. So from the tables view here, we can also click into each submission to edit it, archive it, or get that real-time look at the approval process. But with tables, we can also add a large variety of other columns and actions like advanced formulas to calculate using well-known spreadsheet functions, adding an assignee if we go here to the specific submission, or any other actions to make the most of our post-submission data. We can also use our dynamic filtering system to filter through the data. We can create new tabs from that data to sort our data easily. And we can also add new tabs to create calendar views, card and upload views, and create reports all within tables. This way, tables can really be useful as a kind of dashboard to keep track of multiple respondent submissions across multiple forms. And this is especially useful if you have multiple drivers filling out multiple forms throughout the day, you have multiple locations reporting in, or even multiple agents in the field that are sending through data offline or well connected as well. Tables, of course, and our inbox is also available within the Enterprise mobile app to keep your data at your fingertips, even whilst on the go. Now, that is so much more to Jotform Enterprise than what we have seen here today. We've only really just cracked the surface. Thank you so much for joining me today as we briefly walk through how to access, share, and utilize Jotform Enterprise for field service. Back to you, Lainey.
Great. Thank you so much, Kat. Really appreciate it. Love all those examples, and just super helpful to see that in context. I'm sure our audience appreciates it as well. So as promised, we do have a number of resources to help you find more ideas and more information as you find your way on this journey to digitalization. If you'd like to dig deeper into any of the topics we covered today, we have a white paper highlighting strategies for safer, more sustainable field service management. You can find that on the Jotform Enterprise website listed under our resources section. If you're looking for more user inspiration, I would encourage you to check out our customer stories you'll discover organizations managing everything from acres of public lands to multiple restaurants. And then on Jotform's blog, we have a ton of tips for you, including a highlight of the features and functionality that field service managers love about Jotform Enterprise. And then if you're brand new to Jotform or you're just kind of curious about what else it can do, we have over 10,000 different form templates on jotform.com, highlighting how others use the platform. It's a great way to brainstorm ideas with your team. And then finally, as mentioned at the top, this webinar is going to be posted to our YouTube channel, and that's at YouTube/thejotform. If you've not subscribed, I highly recommend doing that. That way you're going to be notified of any future updates. Okay. At this time, I'd like to check in with Morgan and see if we have any questions from the audience.
All right. Well, thank you both. Great information as usual. Kat, I wanted to start with a question that kind of tacks on to some of the examples that you were showing. How easy is it to make a job site inspection app?
That is very easy. Using our app builder, it uses the same much loved drag and drop functionality. You can also do that within a team. So I can share my screen. Oh, sorry. I don't need to share my screen there. But if I hop back into the screen here, even within our team workspace, we would just go create an app, and then we can use the exact same kind of drag and drop functionality within that app. We also have widgets that are specific to the app, and it's basically an out-of-box, no-code, super easy solution here. You'll see we can start from scratch, use a template, and more. So it's very similar to how you would be building forms, just within the app. You can also fully customize it. So it is very streamlined, and we've designed it to make it no code and simple.
Awesome. Yeah, I like to mention periodically that I am not especially tech-minded, and even I have been able to easily build apps. So it's super easy to use, very user-friendly. Another question related to some of the stuff that you shared, Kat, can you capture information without a Wi-Fi connection using mobile forms, Jotform mobile forms?
Yeah, absolutely. So using our offline forms, you can just turn that on in the Enterprise mobile app. You'll be able to see it. It'll just be a toggle within your settings there, and you can certainly collect that information once the device is reconnected to Wi-Fi, or say to data, if you do have it in the permissions to sync with data. Then all of that information will be uploaded.
Great, thank you. We have a couple questions here about collaboration. So one of those is it possible to create combined reports or have two people contribute to the same report?
Yeah, absolutely. That is going to be unique to Jotform Enterprise, as that would be collaboration within a team. You can also share the report with others if you like and select the permissions. But if you really want two people to contribute to the same report, I highly recommend doing that within teams, having them as a creator or a data collaborator. Depending on the permissions you set, they should have access to be able to go into the reports, collaborate with that data, or even create and share the report there.
Great. Related question, is it possible to have multiple team members edit a form?
Absolutely. There are a couple of different permissions when you get into teams. Of course, team admins have access and visibility into everything within that contained team. We also have a creator permission level and data collaborator level. So if you just want somebody to be able to edit and create forms, you can set them as a creator there. So yes, it is certainly possible.
Awesome. We have a couple more questions here. What about payment options? What payment options exist for end users?
Yeah, so we have over 30 different payment integrations. We directly integrate with that payment processor. We have PayPal, Google Apple Pay options, Stripe, Square, Authorize.net, some major integrators. And we don't charge any fees to use them. There's no third-party fees. We just are the connector to your chosen integration. And there's, of course, no minimum charging amount as well. That's another drag and drop field. You would just go in, set up that integration with your login field, and then you can sell products, subscriptions, don't collect donations, whichever you'd like to do. So we have multiple different options for that.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that is the extent of the questions. I did want to tack on to that we just released an integration with Link by Stripe, and we will have a webinar about that in a couple of weeks on May 11th. So if you're interested in a one-click checkout option, you might want to check that webinar out as well. You can find that on our website, so jotform.com/webinars for that. The last question I will take, what was the YouTube channel again? That is youtube.com/thejotform, or you can just Google YouTube Jotform, it'll come up. We have a ton of other webinars, other tutorials, short tutorials, all kinds of information on there. So I definitely recommend checking that out when you have some time to do that. So I think, yeah, that looks like all the questions. So Lainey, I'm going to throw it back to you to close us out.
All right. Thanks so much, Morgan. And thanks everyone for joining us today. We hope you're inspired to put these ideas into practice, and we look forward to seeing you at another upcoming webinar. Take care, everyone.